Hey there, everyone. It's of course the Norwegian guy. My name is Daniel, and today I am finally closing off my series of ranking the Queen albums, which of course I basically have one left because I kind of don't want to do the Flash Gordon soundtrack. So there's only one left, and that of course is the album released in 1975, and that of course is the band's magnum opus, A Night at the Opera. And it's of course named after the famous Marx Brothers film. Many people know this for one particular song on this record, which I guess can kind of divide some other fans, but honestly, we'll get to that. So, of course, the album's opens. So let's just dive right into this, shall we? The albums open up with "Death on Two Legs," the one of the probably first ever diss tracks, which of course allegedly targets the band's former manager, which of course stole money from them. And I think it's just a even if you take that out of context, it's still one of the great hard rock songs in my opinion. I think it's just such an abrasive song. It's just in your face, and I can't help but to love it. Then of course we got Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon, which is kind of this 1920s kind of burlesque type of thing. Uh, Supposedly, from what I heard, that they put a microphone in the bucket to give it that kind of bullhorn sound. I really enjoyed Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon for what it is. I mean, it's a short little snippet, so no need to harp too much on it. Then, of course, we get I'm in Love with My Car, which, of course, was the B side to Bohemian Rhapsody. I know some fans don't like it. I honestly think it's a pretty cool rocking tune. Yeah, it's some of the lyrics are kind of silly, but you know what? I like it. I do like I'm in Love with My Car. Then of course you get You're My Best Friend, one of the great John Deacon pop songs of all time, which of course is a song that he wrote for his wife. Um, and I'm pretty sure he has never had to buy her another anniversary gift ever again since releasing this song. Uh, so I think that but I really like 39. It has a sweet kind of electric piano opening, and I think the melody is just great. Then of course you get 39, one of my personal favorites of this album, which is I always kind of like to refer to this song as the Interstellar song because it kind of tells the story of Interstellar in 3 minutes, while in Interstellar spent like 3 hours trying to tell the kind of similar story about space exploration and time dilation, uh, where basically a group of voyagers or explorers goes off into space, and when even though for them only a year has passed, but a year has passed for everyone. What I mean to say is they go off into space, and when they finally come back, they have only aged a year, but to everyone on Earth, they have aged 100 years. So it's kind of a cool song, and I kind of like the folky nature of the 12-string guitar on this one. I really like 39. It's one of my personal favorites, like I just mentioned. Then you get Sweet Lady, which is probably the weakest track for me on this. I have never gotten into that song, so it's definitely the one song on this I kind of tend to skip. I can't skip it when I put this on the turntable, but I can really don't really like that one. Then you got Seaside Rendezvous, which I enjoy enough. I mean, it's kind of like a bookend to Lacing on a Sunday Afternoon. And of course, then you go on the second side, and this is where, for me, they start to get back into their more kind of experimental side because for me, the first side is very straightforward. Songs, whether it be hard rock or pop or folk, whereas the second side is a little more on the experimental side, and you get that immediately with something like the Prophet song, which is very heavy, very proggy. I love kind of the multi-tracking on this. I think it's just such a great way of using melody, vocal melody, especially from Freddie. And it's just a great song in of itself. Then of course you get "Love of My Life," one of the great Queen ballads of all time. It's even more potent when you see them on something like Live at Wembley or Rock in Rio. It's an absolutely gorgeous ballad. It's one of my favorite ballads of all time, without question. Then you get "Good Company," which is kind of a weird song for me, but it's okay. I enjoy it for what it is. This kind of banjo-y thing, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan on it. And of course you get "Bohemian Rhapsody," which is a is a classic song. I mean, it doesn't matter how many times I've heard it. I always sing along to "Bohemian Rhapsody." I'm sure everyone does. And then of course it then closes off with "God Save the Queen," which is kind of this kind of, which basically is just Brian May doing the "God Save the Queen" theme on guitar, and I think it's just a very majestic album, no pun intended. Um, and it's definitely the greatest one in their catalog. And if you haven't read this album, listen to this album back front to back or back to front, however you want to do it, you should definitely check that out. Honestly, if you got to start off with a Queen album, this is the one to go with. And I'm gonna give it a solid 5 out of 5. Honestly, even though yes, I do not like Sweet Lady. I think the album in of itself is so pivotal and so important that I can't give it anything lower than that. So that aside, I think you should definitely check it out. Now, with with that said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to also share this video so that way we can get more people into this community, because you know what? The more the merrier.